What's going on, car family? I'm Ben Wayne. Thank you for joining me in another video. Today, we've dropped by Bentley Atlanta to take a look at a very special car I've been waiting on. This is the 2020 Bentley Continental GTC #1 edition. This is the third model that Bentley has offered this year as a special edition to celebrate the centenary year of Bentley Motors. This particular car has been finished in a beautiful Dragon Red 2 paint, and then the interior is finished in a cricket ball leather. Now, I mentioned this is the third model, so what were the previous two models? Well, you had the Bentley Mulsanne WO edition, and you had the Bentley Continental GT Coupe #9 edition. This #1 edition has been inspired by the 1929 Bentley Blower #1 model, and that is also a vehicle that is stunning in its own right. So today, let's take a look at the exterior and interior details of this 2020 GTC #1 edition and see how this ride has been engineered for excellence. Taking a look at the front, of course, you have the traditional styling cues of the third generation Bentley Continental GT, your LED matrix headlamps, and your grille, which is wider and lower than what was found on the second generation. Now, since this is the #1 edition, you'll notice there's a #1 on the grille. I want to point out that this is one of 100 cars made, and this is only one of 35 in the US of the #1 edition. Now, if you ask me, if you take a look at the side profile of this car, this is what truly makes this vehicle unique. It is stunning. There's nothing else that looks like it. You have these sharp, superformed lines going throughout the aluminum bodywork, which just makes the car look really poised and seamless. Also, you have the 22-inch gloss black wheels that go great against this Dragon Red 2 paint. Your brake rotors up front are 16.5 inches in diameter, grasped by 10 piston calipers. In the rear, they're 15 inches in diameter, grasped by 4 piston calipers. Now, you'll notice, since this is the #1 edition, you're getting 18 karat gold badging on the front fenders. This is not the car you want to get if you want to remain low profile. Now, since this is a GTC model, I have to mention the soft top. The soft top can be raised or lowered at speeds of up to 30 miles per hour and takes just 19 seconds to operate. Now, when the top is up on this car, it is extremely quiet. That's due to its 4 layers of insulation, which makes this car just as quiet as the coupe version of the second generation Bentley Continental GT. So that's extremely impressive to get convertibles with the soft top that are just as quiet as coupes nowadays. Now, before we make our way to the rear, I want to make mention that a lot of accents that are typically chrome are finished in black, and you also have carbon fiber bodywork on the side profile, front, and rear of the vehicle as well. Let's go check out the back. On the back of the vehicle, you'll notice you get a small carbon fiber spoiler. Looks great against the paintwork. The tail lamps on this third generation have been pushed outward, giving the car a more pronounced whiff from the rear. Now, coming lower, you have blacked out exhaust pipes and, of course, carbon fiber accents on the bottom as well. Now, let's lightly touch on driving dynamics before checking out the car's interior. Obviously, this is a heavy car, but it has a lot of power. In fact, it's powered by a 6-liter twin turbocharged W12 motor, putting out 626 horsepower and 664 pound-foot of torque. Now, how can this car that's really heavy handle all that power? Well, it starts off with Bentley Dynamic Ride. That is a 48-volt active roll control system. So this car has actuators that have been placed on the car's anti-roll bars at the front and rear, and that helps keep the car stable when driving aggressively. In addition to that, Bentley has took steps to allow this car to perform more like a sports car. You're getting an 8-speed double clutch transmission. 0 to 60 occurs in roughly 3.5 seconds. Now, in addition to that, you have different driving modes. So in comfort mode, this car has an all-wheel drive system, which will send 38% of the power to the front wheels. Now, in sport mode, it will only transfer 17% of the power to the front wheels, allowing this car to handle more like a sports car. Sitting in the #1 edition, one of the first things you're going to notice is this cricket ball leather hide interior. It kind of gives an old school flavor to the car, which is the idea. Remember, this is paying homage to the 1929 Bentley Blower. So you're gonna have this old school vibe, which is also why the grille looks like it has the #1 just painted on. That's how they did it back in the day. But overall, this interior is just as comfortable as you would expect. High quality throughout. Everything just looks exquisite, especially with the execution of the materials inside the car. At the top of the dash, smooth cricket ball leather with contrast stitching and piano black veneers with a #1 badge by Mulliner in the piano black veneer. That really looks terrific. Now, of course, you're getting the famous 12.3-inch rotating display, which is touchscreen. So you're getting all that technology that we typically didn't see in Bentleys till just about 2 years ago. Now, if you notice on this particular Bentley, on this side of the rotating display, you'll get a temperature gauge, and then the center gauge is a Bentley rotating wheel lock, and that is taken from the piston of the 1929 Bentley blower. So a piece of the piston is inside the dash. That is cool. Again, only 100 cars have this. And then of course you have a chronometer. Now, if you look at your organ pulls that are designed to open and close the air conditioning vents, they're finished in 18 karat gold, and they really look great against this turned aluminum finish in the center console here. Now, one particular feature I want to point out is this clock in the center of the console. Typically in Bentleys, we see Breitling clocks, but in this #1 edition, you have a clock by Jaeger, and this just looks really nice and carries really well with the overall theme. Now, of course, you have your gear selector finished in an Alcantara. I really love the cricket ball Alcantara. It has a nice feedback to it once you touch it. It gives you a sense of high quality, along with the knobs that have the diamond finish or the knurled finish in the center console as well. I've always liked how these rotating knobs have a digital readout for the air conditioning temperature. That is really neat. Of course, you have all your controls for your seating and your different driving modes, of course, and then just storage in the center of the console. 2 cup holders here, typical of the Bentley GTC. Now, the seats are particularly comfortable. Now, notice this doesn't have the diamond and diamond Mulliner spec. Remember, the goal of this interior is to have that vintage look, so it's just a simple, supple leather with perforated designs through it for that air conditioning ventilation to get to you. They're also heated as well. And of course, you have that system that blows warm air around your neck, allowing you to enjoy this car with the top down on cooler days. Now, the headrests have this debossed Bentley B along with contrast stitching. They really look exquisite. Coming over to the steering wheel, usually we talk about a duotone finish. This is a duo material split. You have the leather on the inside portion and the Alcantara on the exterior portion, again with contrast stitching. It takes roughly 8 hours to stitch a Bentley steering wheel, and you really appreciate the detail while sitting in this car. Now, behind the steering wheel, you have chrome shifters with that knurled finish. Again, really nice feedback when you touch them, and of course the knurled finish on your stocks behind the steering wheel as well. Now, the instrument cluster is fully digital and configurable as well. You also have a heads-up display system, so you're getting all that tech that you typically didn't see in Bentleys of the previous generation. Coming over to the door panels, they're finished in the cricket ball with the contrast stitching, piano black veneer, and of course plenty of storage, controls for all 4 windows and your side view mirrors as well. Now, before we leave the car, once you open the door, again, this is a centenary model, so it's going to say Bentley 1919 to 2019, and it's illuminated. Again, a really nice touch. So that was a brief look at this 2020 Bentley #1 edition. I really love this paintwork. Dragon Red 2 is one of my favorite colors. But what do you guys think about the overall vintage appeal and how this car was inspired by the 1929 Bentley blower? Let me know in the comments section. One of only 100 cars, one of 35 in the United States. I'd like to give a special thanks to Bentley Atlanta for making this video possible. If you would like to see a more detailed review on the Bentley Continental GTC or GT Coupe, we've also done those videos. We've taken this car out for a test drive. So there's plenty of other videos where I go in a lot more depth if you're curious about this car. Thank you guys for watching. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.